Lego?
Hi, hello, hi, welcome in. I almost said welcome in, welcome out. Welcome in, welcome around.
Welcome in, welcome out.
Welcome in, welcome out. We're glad to have you around. Uh, Hello. I'm Claire. These are my friends. It's Brindlewood May. I don't know if you know this, but Brindlewood Bay is live on Kickstarter right now. It is an incredible TTRPG that you will see us honestly struggle to learn because we're learning new things. So we're all here together learning these things. Hi, Darius. And in the meantime, as we learn to play this game and are the wonderful, beautiful murder mavens that Danny, our keeper, will lead us through, we are also going to be raising money throughout the month for abortion funds across the country. You'll see the Tiltify campaign that we have up is for Our Justice, which is an organization outside of Minnesota that does abortion fund and reproductive justice work throughout the Midwest. But also, if you are not local to that area or have a vested interest in a different abortion fund near you, please consider sending us a screenshot if you're interested in some of the rewards that we're going to come up with. As you may have guessed, this is a little bit last minute as far as charity streams go. And so we will be here all month doing Brindlewood Bay every other Tuesday. But more and more charity rewards are going to be coming up as we go. For instance, brand new, live as decided 10 minutes ago, for every $10 that you donate, your name can be entered into a raffle to win an original song by Corson about / inspired by, more inspired by than about, you. So I'm going to donate a bunch of money to see if Corson writes a song about me. And I hope that you do the same.
It'll be worth your dollar.
It'll be worth your dollars. And as I hope we all know, reproductive justice is human rights. So here we are. With that note, I'm going to hand it over to Danny to introduce all of us, and let's do this thing. Danny.
Great. Hello and welcome all to Brindlewood Bay. Today we will start our adventure with our Murder Mavens, which is our 4 lucky people here. Brindlewood Bay is a TTRPG made by Jason Cardova, and what Claire said earlier, right now it is on Kickstarter, so definitely check it out. I have been following it pretty closely, and it's exciting. They've been doing really well, so definitely add to it to get your copy. Basically, the way this game works, all our 4 heroes here, the Murder Mavens, are 4, elderly women who have some of elderly in body but not mind or spirit, have the tendency to run into mysteries and even often solve them. Whether or not that is by luck, by a little bit of meddling, or by maybe some other forces unknown. We will, to start, before we really get into the meat of it, I just wanted to talk about, earlier today, we talked about some lines and veils that we have. Just wanted to read them out loud for everyone on the stream so they would know what we think is important and know that there are more things that we don't all list, but a lot of it's because we have played, most of us have played together before, and so we know a lot about what we what things that we're sensitive to and about the kind of mood we like to establish. So they might not all be in. Some lines that we have, I scrolled past it, are, we don't allow cognitive disabilities to just be displayed in a harmful manner, no spousal abuse, domestic violence, rape, gaslighting, things of that nature. And then for today, a couple veils we are thinking we would like added are, we're not going to talk too much about spousal death, even though that is a part of this game. We not like the actual it happening, but remembering of it. And if we were going to do something like that, we will basically do a grief trigger to let people know. We will also be veiling, things that are overly gross, vomiting, the over description of dead bodies, explicit gore, things like that. This is a cozy mystery, so we're gonna keep it cozy here this evening. Before we get into the real meat of this game, our last little session 0 we had last 2 weeks ago with 3 of our mavens. We discussed how we made characters and things and all of that. I'm going to have them kind of start and say a little bit about each of their characters. Then we'll get to Kanisha, who is joining us now with our 4th maven, and we will let them introduce themselves, and we will talk about and we will let them add things. So Kanisha, we didn't talk too much about this beforehand, but each, how when we were talking through, we all added a cozy item to your space. I'm going to have each of the other mavens talk about their space a little bit, and you're going to get to add another item while we go through, just to, and then we'll talk about all the items we're going to add to your space. So, without further ado, I basically am looking for your name, a brief kind of description about your personality and your style, and then just talk a little bit about your cozy place and things like Maven moves and all of that. We can kind of bring up when they come up in the game. We don't need to go through them all again right now, but I'm sure they will come up, and then we'll definitely want to tell a little bit behind the curtain kind of idea. So I'm starting off. I'm going to go clockwise around on our stream here. So we're going to start with Corson.
All right. Well, I'm playing Phyl Schneider. She's an avid gardener and also has a penchant for wild hogs. And by that I mean her motorcycle Magnus. She is kind of a bad bitch, but it's a recent occurrence. So she spent a lot of her younger life as a stay-at-home mom, focusing on building her family and developing her children into responsible adults. Well, turns out that her son Stieg ended up kind of a shithead and lives in the Bay Area and does software consulting, and they're now estranged, except that Stieg's child Aurora has come to live with Phyl at her lovely Victorian farmhouse. Her cozy space is kind of a farmhouse where it feels like the walls are caving in a little bit. She's got paintings hung up salon style, right? Like floor to ceiling, artwork, tons of books, tons of doily shit, and a really sprawling, beautiful English garden, and a nice wraparound porch. Should I go into items that I have already or no? I'll just pass it to Katy. Or I'll pass it to Claire. Sorry.
Hello. Also, first of all, thank you for the donations, Darius and Chaotic. We really appreciate it. I am playing Marlene Molly. I forgot her last name. Davidson. And Molly is a scrapbooking, monochromatic look wearing, honestly sweet, earnestly kind older woman who does not have any children of her own, but that does not stop her from honestly just lavishing gifts and joy and kindness on the children and the children's children of those that she loves. I think including Aurora, sometimes to the dismay of both Aurora and Phyl. She is a former nurse, and her cozy little place is her home and her scrapbooking room. And I can't remember if I missed anything. Is that all the things?
Yeah, that's the things.
Great. I'll pass it to Katy.
All right. I'm playing one Beatrice Edith Anderson.
as they would say, à Paris, where I spent, the good chunk of my adult life. Born Beatrice Edith Henderson in Ohio somewhere, and moved to France, jet set around Europe for a while. Met the love of my life, Robert. Had a beautiful daughter, Clotilde. She's now, in her late 40s. She just had twins. So I'm a grandmother, grandmère, for the first time. I was I eventually moved back to America, moved back to Brindlewood Bay, and I started teaching French at the local school. Loved it. I just recently retired. Really scaled down on my substituting as well. And yeah, I love to cook. I love to cook. Nothing makes me feel cozier than whipping up a big old meal in my Nancy Meyers-esque kitchen in my beautiful French countryside themed house. Lots of roosters all over the place. No live roosters, just artwork, decor, if you will. I always have fresh flowers in every room, and I'm loving the retiree life, but I am itching to, I just have a lot more time on my hands these days.
Incredible. So those are our 3 previously established mavens. But now, to mix things up a bit, I'd love to hear Kanisha. Who are you playing today?
Oh, can we hear me? Hello, I'm Kanisha. I'll be playing Gerri, who is wonderful. She is a former photographer who did a lot of assignments with like Rolling Stone, like was personal photographer for print. Before she got out of the game, I think she just got a little bored. Her cozy activity is tarot reading. So in Brindlewood Bay, she's the photo editor of the Brindlewood Bay Gazette. But on weekends or throughout the week, she gets a little bored. She'll host tarot readings in like her converted dining room. Her house is like, she's pretty hippy dippy and like, will wear funky patterns and loves purple, but you wouldn't really get a sense of like super kookiness from her home other than it's all contained in her special converted dining room tarot space. Otherwise, it's pretty unobtrusive. She has a crush on a local carpenter in the back, or a local carpenter Luther. And she loves to garden and do weird plant experiments in her backyard. So, she's just kind of beats to her own drum. And I feel like I missed something. But I think that's Gerri.
Yeah, I think that's a good sum up. I mean, everything we miss will, I'm sure, come up as we live in these characters for a bit. Now, I just wanted to talk briefly about our cozy spaces. So Kanisha, you get to add some cozy items to each of these spaces. I think before we, make you figure them all out on the spot, I think maybe we go through each person and talk about what we've given each person's cozy space, and then let you, after all 3 of us have gone, maybe you'll have thought of something to toss in, and if you haven't, we'll figure it out later, and that's okay as well. So I think I'm gonna go in the same counterclockwise kind of order, but I'm gonna start first with what I'm gonna put in Phil's space. Phyl, right, is this avid gardener. So, coming from someone whose family is family home is just gardens all the way around the outside of it. I know every older gardener has a radio flyer wagon filled with dirt that they pull around. So that's the item I'm going to add to Phil's space. So then Claire, what are you going to put in Phil's space? I mean, Molly.
What did I put in Phil's space?
You put a spice rack.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I
You can swap it out if you want.
No, I did because I picked a thing that was like remnant of an old hobby that felt domestic, kind of like the past life relic. Yeah, and it was a spice rack.
Like a really detailed one.
But all the spices are a little crusty.
Nice.
You love to see it.
Then, Bea, what are you putting into Phil's space?
I put a little garden stone with little glass beads pressed into it. You know, the type with little handprints and a little saying carved into it that Stieg made, maybe for a Mother's Day or a birthday or something, back when he was a little child.
Oh.
Yeah,
She
Phyllis
still
is
has
definitely a Cancer, so she has a summer birthday, and I think had a little project with the kids making that for one of her birthdays, and she kept it.
Aw.
But yeah, so Phil is a gardener, biker, parent. Do you have any ideas of things you'd like to add to their space, Kanisha?
I think I think that's something. This is a good question. Okay, so for the things that we add to the spaces, is it considered like something, a gift from our characters, or
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't
okay,
have to be.
it's just another random thing? Okay. Then, okay. I'm thinking that Phil has like an almanac, like a farmer's almanac that's like 15 years old, but it's like really nice and still like thumbed through. Like they're like bookmarked or tabbed pages and things like that. Yeah.
Nice.
I love that. I can picture exactly where I keep it.
Incredible. Perfect item. Great. Then we will move next to what we've put into Molly's space. Molly is a scrapbooker, so the cozy scrapbook room. I remember I put in a old school boombox, a big square boombox with a just like on the right when CD players became a thing, like the very first run of CD players. It's got sliders instead of knobs or buttons to do the dials and things, and one huge antenna.
I put in a fun accent wall. What was supposed to be a mural and then was painted over in a fun color and said it was supposed to be that way the whole time.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I gave you?
Yes.
I did not take good notes.
I believe it is a butterscotch candy fishbowl.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Because you used to be the school nurse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we were co-workers at the school, I always used to steal some little candy from your jar and it brightened my day. And so I got you a really nice a little crystal dish that you keep filled with a variety of treats. And I'm keeping it. I'm staying with it.
You have any thoughts on a cozy scrapbook room item, Kanisha?
I think it's like one of those cookie tins, you know, but it's
Oh.
filled with like fabrics and yarns and like little felt stickers. And also like those foamy, squishy like letters. I think just like little knickknacks picked up from the school and just like everywhere to be used for the scrapbooking.
Yeah, I love that.
Perfect.
I can just like kind of imagine this like the cookie tin is definitely something that like a different teacher was going to throw out and she was like, "Oh, I could use that." And just like started adding little things to it, and it's like the weird soft goods moment of like little things she could tape to stuff or glue.
Very cute. Great, love that. Next we have Bea's cozy place was her kitchen, where she does all of her cooking. I remember I gave her because of how up to the styles Bea is, and how important she made sure she has very like the top of the line clothing because that's something you can't skip on. She has an apron for every meal, for every occasion. So apron that'll match whatever she needs, whatever she's making, whatever she's wearing. She has one.
Yes. Love it.
I gave her a where the second oven was. The second oven got ripped out and is now a bookshelf of all sorts of cookbooks accumulated as gifts over the years, because when someone knows that cooking is your hobby, all they get you is cookbooks. And they're from all over the world, all different kinds of cuisines and specific dishes and pastry books and stuff like that.
It's a beautiful glass-fronted cabinet. I did write that down.
Great. And then Molly, what did you put in her space?
What did I
You
I
You
forgot.
gave
I
me-
have such a bad memory. Oh my god.
That's okay.
It's all good. You gave me, you said an item that wrote, I totally, oh my god, I mixed up his name on these two post-it notes. I wrote Robert on one and Roger on the other.
Roger.
I'm going with Robert. We're doing Robert. Like something like that was a relic from like our early days of our relationship. Like that I could have definitely upgraded it, but I've chosen not to.
Yeah.
And I specified that was a stovetop espresso maker. It's like so old and like not as up to date as the rest of her appliance line, but she keeps it on the middle burner. I said she has a more than 4 burner stove. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
and
I forgot
it
that was
makes
part
me
of it.
think of him every day with my morning Java.
No.
And I
then-
smile. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Gerri, anything you want to add to this kitchen?
Okay. Yes. To the kitchen. I would like to add. Maybe this is a gift from Gerri specifically because I like to add one of those like electric wine openers, and it's like a set, so it's like the electric wine opener, but also the electric salt and pepper like grinder shakers. So like you just turn it over, and both like buzz, and then it automatically comes out. So like a set of automated little things.
Yeah.
Cool.
When you get older, those things get hard to do with your wrists and your hands, and it just gotta automate it.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Wait, that's so cute.
Yeah. I've like figured out the exact timing. I'm like, okay, if I hold the salt over it for this long, it's like it pours out this much. I figured it out for baking.
Yeah.
I love that.
Perfect. Great. And then we're going to add some things to your space. I'd love it if I know you talked a little bit about your cozy space when we were introducing, but is there anything else you wanted to say about it?
You're muted.
Oh, okay, yes, I can get into it a little bit more. There's like a converted dining room area, and it's kind of open, and like everywhere in the house kind of has like beigey wallpaper or whatever. But this room, like you walk in through the front door and you can see it straight away. It has like dark purple and gold, like pigmented wallpaper. There's beaded curtains kind of like held open. And you go into it and there's like a large brown wooden table and that has like a table covering. What are those called? I
Cloth?
forgot the word for
Tablecloth?
that. Yeah, tablecloth. Tablecloth.
Linens.
Cool.
Linens.
Linens.
Okay, yeah, it has a beautiful deep purple tablecloth, and then other paraphernalia like a crystal ball, some dried herbs and things, little dishes, a mortar and pestle, and a giant like hutch filled with all sorts of like witchy looking things. And a record player, because why not? There should be music in there, just for vibes. And then yeah, like an assortment of chairs. Like it looks like literally like one day she got bored and like just it's her normal dining set, and then she was like, let's just spice it up a little bit. And then like threw some stuff in there and just kind of walked away. She definitely eats there still, but it doubles as a space. So that's the cozy space. And it has like a very modest like gold chandelier at the top. So yeah, that's the space, our cozy space.
Right. I love it. I know Corson was just saying she's having audio difficulties, so we'll figure that out. But while they're doing that, I think the rest of us can talk about the items we're going to add to Kanisha's space. Oh, my picture went away on the screen.
What?
Hope is back. Okay.
I was
We,
I don't think it went away for the world.
Oh, just because I'm looking at it on the Twitch stream and it disappeared for a second and then came back.
That's weird. All right, well.
But what I'm gonna add to Gerri's seance room is I imagine somewhere on this witchy shelf there's something that's kind of seems out of place to people who don't really know you. Oh yeah, now on my screen Kanisha disappeared for a second.
Okay, well, you keep
But-
talking.
Yeah,
Kanisha got
it's
kicked out of the video ninja, so I don't know what happened there, but
well, it's a Model 95 Polaroid camera, which is like one of the first versions of Polaroid camera there was, and I imagine it was Gerri's mother's maybe camera and got kind of what got her into her photography career. And it sits on this shelf because of the strong emotional memories to it will help with the witchiness and witchy spells. Yeah.
their laptop died.
Oh no.
God. Yeah, Chaotic, you are absolutely right. The midwives of the Fragrant Void are striking already. Kanisha's laptop died. They are in process of rejoining us. It's really, what a way to kick off Brindlewood May, am I right? Just
some spooky mysteries. Ooh.
Ooh.
I figured out the
Electricity
audio
is-
thing. I don't know what was going on, but I fixed it, so.
Did everyone sound like they were growling?
oh, I'm quiet.
No. I was hearing Kanisha like 7 times overlapping like their own voice. I thought I was gonna go crazy.
Oh no.
So I don't know what happened there, but woofy.
Am I still quiet? Am I quiet for everybody?
You're not quiet for me, but I don't know if that's because it's coming through the Discord instead of through the.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Can
I
we do
bet
a
I know
little
what it is.
BRB screen, maybe? And
What? Yeah.
is that bad? I don't know.
I don't think
We
I don't
could-
think it's bad. Oh no, okay. Okay. You weren't before all the tech gremlins attacked. Oh, that's weird. Well, nevertheless, while Kanisha is
Oh, great. Okay,
rejoining
perfect.
us, just another opportunity to say, hey, if you have goals that you think would make you donate to an abortion fund near you more money, because we'll do fun stuff, let us know what you think that fun stuff would be. Oops. I must have clicked that at the exact same time somebody else did. But hello.
Another type 5.
Ooh.
No, I don't repeat rewards.
Ooh.
Okay, a type 10.
Yeah.
No.
A full 30-minute
A
special.
full produced comedy special.
Mm-mm.
Katie, I could
Ooh.
get you on a stage. I could pull strings. We could make it happen.
What about a cover of Money, Money, Money on the cajon and a cappella?
Oh my god. You want me to play the drum I don't know how to play?
Yeah.
What
cajon.
are
I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
What are we putting in? What are we doing right now?
Oh, we were, we
It
were
got a little squirrely
vamping.
for a minute while we
Oh,
were
so-
brainstorming.
I have what I am putting into Gerri's house. I think
Ah.
is where we were,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We finished.
That's where we are.
I'm putting in a stack of books on the side table. That has been sitting there with the intention of being returned for months. I'm open to whatever kind of book it is. An option I had was like, gardening books from that Phyl had lent to Gerri, but if there's a different set of books that makes sense, that's also good.
Yeah.
I think Kanisha's
meant-
trying to figure out how to unmute.
How to unmute in the Twitch
In the Discord.
or in the
Oh, you can't hear us.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh my
We're going to
gosh.
say that again.
Oh.
I'm gonna move you back to the audience and back again.
As we are doing it live.
What if do I need to start
Now can you
this
unmute?
stage?
No, we shouldn't need to.
You
mean, we can.
unmute yourself, Kanisha. It might undeafen your Discord as well. Oh, they can't hear me. I gotta type that.
Oh yeah, if you're deafened in Discord, you won't be able to hear it, or you won't be able to talk. Deafening automatically mutes you.
Yeah, I bet. I wonder if that's what happened. This is how the sausage gets made, everybody.
Yeah,
Remember, if you haven't yet today, think about adding your representative's phone numbers into your phone. When you're bored, or drunk, or high, you want to call somebody and tell them how you feel about the world. Those are the people whose jobs it is to listen to you.
Their full job.
Consider that. Consider calling your representatives and telling them to codify things into law that have been,
What about Katie? What about this as a reward? A PowerPoint detailing the timeline of your personal engagement with Alpha Bear Hustle.
What?
What is Alpha Bear Hustle?
Oh my
It's a
god.
really good game.
Oh my god. You want me to relive that trauma, the awful moment that happened? Guys, not to spoil this history. I don't know if this is going to be a reward, but there was a dramatic event that happened about a couple weeks ago.
About a month ago.
Yeah, I felt betrayed. I felt shocked. I said, down with tech, is what I said. And then I had to eat my words, eventually, but...
But maybe not forever. Who knows? Really.
Yeah.
That
We're on
story's
borrowed time.
not worth... it's...
What
I
about
don't-
what about
Oh, no.
what about a people's history of some other, like, what about a PowerPoint presentation on something else? You
What
give
if
good
we, What if we
PowerPoints.
all have to do symposiums? What if we all
You
do
guys can.
5-minute presentations on something? And the chat and or the socials get to vote on what the thing is.
Yes.
Like we each
yes.
get to pick, 5 things we feel confident talking about, or 4 things we feel confident talking about, or like oh my god, what if it's like the cozy little place and we each list a thing we'd like to hear the person talk about. So you get to pick one, and then all of us get to pick one, and then the
people
socials vote, and then
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay.
I'd do that.
Oh, yay! Perfect timing. They can
Step
hear now.
1. Halfway there.
Can we hear you now?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I'm so sorry.
Women, Brindlewood Bay.
Brindlewood Bay. Coming at it.
All right, what did you put in Gerri's house?
Me?
Phyl.
Yeah.
Oh, I put a stack of books that has the intention of being returned, but has not yet been, and it's been at least 6 months since they were placed on the table where they still remain.
Amazing. I put. Oh, I put a gift that Molly thought was really meaningful and sweet. A Housewives tarot deck. You tell me, do you think Gerri has ever used them?
Maybe once. They're like maybe she has like a stack of 5 and they're second. So they've been touched recently.
That's very sweet.
Wait, do you mean like the Real Housewives or like a 1950s housewife?
I'm thinking very specifically of a tarot deck that I think is in your home currently.
In my home?
I think
Is
one
it
of
the
you owns
1950s
Yeah.
housewife? Oh, Corson. That's yours.
Who got me that?
Did you forget that you own that?
Yeah, I did actually.
I don't know,
didn't
why
you
do
get
I
it
have
from the
that?
shop?
Yeah.
And you were gonna give it to someone, maybe?
Oh yeah, I was gonna give it to Madeline.
Oh,
You're
sorry,
right.
not to spoil.
No,
Sorry,
I've
Madeline.
completely forgot. I don't even know where it is, if I'm being fully candid. So,
well,
but it is
another
somewhere.
reward could be Corson looks for the Housewife tarot deck.
Yeah, maybe that'd get me to clean my goddamn closet.
Hey.
Do tarot readings via Twitch.
$1,000 milestone. Corson cleans their room.
Look,
All right,
the goal for the month is
$1,500. I
$1,000
clean my closet.
on stream.
We said this. We said this out loud. Now we have to do it.
Oh my god, wait, can I help?
Yeah.
Please.
Can that be the goal? Organization
because-
live stream.
No, because my closet is absolutely where are we? What are we on right now? What rails are we on?
None.
We're
It's
Listen.
because I'm not DMing. I have no regard for the rails whatsoever.
Listen, yeah, the rails, we'll get on them in 1 second.
Also,
I was
I
going to
wanna
let
be
this
very
pass,
clear.
and then
I
I'm going to
feel
take
like-
full speed.
I feel like once we get through Gerri's stuff, we'll be on the rails to do a mystery, and then I do think that the vibe for this month is going to be a lot of like random bonus streams as we think of things we want to do. You
Mhm.
know,
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
a lot
We're all
is a
about
strong
fun.
word, but maybe some bonus streams. Let's not overpromise. All right.
Great. Then we have one more.
Yes, I want to put in Gerri's tarot room an antique incense burner, but like one of those really ornate looking ones that I antiqued it. And it has like, it's one of the ones where it has like a little chamber that the falling incense stick falls into. And then I conveniently learned a little bit because I too am a frequent patron of the farmer's market at the florist stand, and I know a little bit about a certain hunk that a certain friend of mine might have a certain crush on. So I said, "This is a statement piece." And so I did gift that to you.
Wait, that's so good. I love all of these gifts so much. They're so funny. Yay!
Yay. Incredible. Now we have established our mavens. They are real. They're in a world. They're living. They're you. And we can now enter Brindlewood Bay. So, this episode is titled Murder on a Morning Stroll. The sky, pans up and you see beautiful Brindlewood Bay. Brindlewood Bay is a seaside New England town that breaks the shoreline from a dense and rocky pine forest that sits beyond it. The bay sits seemingly separate from the rest of the world in its nearly remote location and remains self-sufficient as it has for several hundred years. With the number of local fishermen going down over the years, the city has turned it to its picturesque verandas and quaint little shops to fuel its economy, turning it into the standard tourist town that we all have visited at least once in our life. I mean, I'm sure you can just picture it. But right now, in early May, it's the off-season, and few but the locals wander the streets, giving it a nearly abandoned feel compared to the summer. Living out their later years here in Brindlewood Bay, we find our Murder Mavens. 4 brave geriatrics who are still sharp as a tack and not afraid to do a little meddling. In their time, they have made a book club dedicated to the Gold Crown Mysteries by Robin Masterson, and try to live their days modeled after the series' main character, Amanda Delacourt. This can often get them into trouble, and often very real danger. But what's life without a little mystery to solve? The sun has just risen over the bay, and our mavens have planned to meet up at nearby Verdant Point to go for a walk and plan their discussion for their book club this afternoon. But before that, how do our mavens spend their morning, and how are they going to get to the Verdant Point? I'd like to pass it to you. We'll start with Molly. What does Molly do in the morning when she gets up?
I think Molly might be a late sleeper. I think, and by late, I mean she is 72, so as a late sleeper, she wakes up at 7:15. And yeah, I think her morning vibe is like I'm trying to decide if she's a tea or a coffee person, but she makes a warm beverage in the morning. Oh my god, you know what it is? This is absolutely ridiculous. She makes herself decaf coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Well, did you know there's a little bit of caffeine even in decaf, and that's enough to get you going? Says Claire, who drinks a full pot of coffee a day. But yeah, I think that's what she does that in the morning. I don't know did I say she has a pet? She has a cat.
2 cats.
2 cats. Great.
Mm-hmm.
She has 2 cats, and she gets up in the morning and honestly watches the cats play. She reads and watches the cats play in the morning. She also she checks her messages. She forgets, and then she checks her messages probably about a half hour or 45 minutes after she's awake to make sure that she's heard from people that she cares about. If she doesn't hear from honestly all the mavens by 10 in the morning, she calls people to make sure they're around.
Incredible. So yeah, as you're having your morning decaf, you look out over the out of your front window and think about your friends and what you're gonna do this afternoon. You all have a group text thread that I'm sure maybe Molly wakes up and texts hello to right away in the morning before everyone else wakes up. And I want to know next. We'll move because of the motorcycle noise earlier. We'll move to Phyl.
Well, I haven't gotten out the hog yet today, but it is the time of year. I'm making this decision. I don't know exactly what time of year it is, but I'm making the decision that today is the day that Brindlewood Bay moves from one climate zone into another climate zone. So I'm moving some plants around in the garden to maximize maximize their potential, really get the most out of it. And make sure that all my little rose bushes stay healthy. And I have some tulip bulbs that I'm actually going to take out of the ground and store for the winter. Maybe we're in the fall, right? I think. Anyway, whatever. I'm either planting them or taking them out of the ground, whatever it is.
It's early May. So.
Oh, it's early May. Never mind.
Yeah,
I missed
same
that.
as now.
I'm putting them in the ground.
Yes.
I actually fully missed the boat on the tulip bulbs. If I gotta be honest, I really missed it. So, anyway, I'm moving things around, reorganizing the garden, and doing some weeding. I'm up with the sun this morning for sure. But just working on my stuff. I got a new kneeling pad over the weekend too. So I have it's not really even a kneeling pad. It's like a little stool that kind of holds you in the angle that it is most comfortable to reach the ground. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah, even probably has those, like, it has wheels, but you wouldn't wheel it. It's like made just in case you need to. Oh yeah, but love those. As the sun rises and it's still very wet from the rain last night, but it makes it easier for digging. So it's good to get up early.
Feeling wet dirt. Like not to the point of mud, but like wet dirt under my fingernails too.
Mm-hmm.
It's very grounded. Like sometimes I'll just put my hands in the ground and just sit with them under there for a minute. It's my therapy. First thing.
We go from a pan up from the dirt through the grass, fly across town, into we're gonna go to Gerri's home. Gerri, what do you do in the morning?
Okay, so Gerri is pretty laid back. Maybe we'll get up around 8:30, 9. Might have like a fun snack. Maybe Gerri throws together like a little fruit salad. Or maybe it's like a fruit salad she picked up from a vendor at the farmer's market. Yeah, she has a favorite fruit salad vendor. So that's what she snacks on. She'll have her first glass of water. She'll text her son Bryson. I think just a little sun emoji, no other context. And then she'll do some sun salutations on her yoga mat and kind of set the vibe for the day. Spend some silent time. So this may be like in the living room part of the living room. She'll, do some sun salutations and kind of set the mood and then wait for everyone else to text. She lets energy come to her.
Incredible. Yeah, everyone wakes up early, but everyone waits for their friends to wake up. No one wants to wake somebody up, even though you are going to meet in the morning here. You trust your friends to wake up on their own. As you greet the sun and the sun shines on your face, we cut over to a nice sunny home, with beautifully decorated with roosters abound, and we find Bia.
Bia wakes up, all white linens, all hotel bed level of comfort at 6:15 sharp every morning, and she has for years. It works for her. No need to change it up. She wakes up, she puts on her little slippers, she does some stretches, really gets the spine aligned for the day. Bea, I don't think I've mentioned it, she is 6'1". She is a tall lady. And she needs to, She needs to maintain that posture. So after, a good 10 minutes of stretching minimum, she'll go down to the kitchen and fire up the old Robert's espresso pot on the stove, and it makes a really odd whistling sound sometimes, but it's probably fine. It hasn't started splattering yet on the stovetop, so I can't be too concerned. While that's brewing, I do a little. I dust all my knickknacks. I'm bouncing around the kitchen. I am a morning person. I'm also a night person. I love to, I love to get things done around here. So, multitask, and then I eventually curl up in my little breakfast nook and drink my coffee two-handed.
Just bask in the warmth of the morning sun. And after, after the night's rain, you open a window in the morning, you can still smell the dew as it greets you in your espresso. I'd also like to know the Verdant Point is a park on the north side of Brindlewood Bay. It kind of, it's a bay, so it comes out to a peak on one end and kind of points out, and that's the Verdant Point. They're really good at naming things, But how do you all get there? Do you live close? Do you live within walking distance? Do you get a ride? Do you drive? You hop on your unicycle?
I'm
Yeah,
absolutely
hopping on
picking
the
up
bike.
Molly on my way there. I got a helmet for you.
Oh my god. Yeah, I do think Molly
You can have mine.
Molly thinks a lot about buying her own helmet, but doesn't want to even though they've literally been friends for decades, I think at this point. Even though there was the moment where we all kind of moved and went separate ways and came back together, friends for decades, Molly is still buying my own helmet feels really presumptuous. She's gonna feel like she needs to drive me places, and I don't need to be driven places.
I think, I definitely have a helmet for you, and it's probably my helmet that I just give to you. And then if you say anything about it, I say, I'll just drive it like a Vespa. It's fine.
I think she used to say something about it, and now it's one of those things, you just gotta let it go. I've accepted the things I can't change.
I think I have a leather hood that I wear for the wind burn, and my shock of gray white hair comes out the front of this leather hood.
I think maybe Molly has kind of a little gray bob. I can't decide if she has the full little pixie or if she has a little gray bob, but
yeah, we're gonna.
I also have
some
thick sunglasses for sure.
That's so cute.
Incredible. Yeah, with the the sunglasses have been cleaned many times to wipe the bugs off of them.
Yeah. Otherwise they'd be going in my eyes. They're the kind of sunglasses that you wear over other glasses too.
Oh my god, the big old lady sunglasses.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, so the hog flies through. Was it Magnus the hog?
Magnus the hog.
It always takes
Roars.
Molly 2 tries to get her leg up and over.
Roars through town on the way to the Verdant Point. And it's really the amount of times in the early morning you two will get on and go for a ride to somewhere lets the rest of the neighborhood know that you're just, kicking and moving for the day. And
dead.
really say not dead yet.
Plenty of time to rest when you're 6 feet under.
Or 6 feet tall. Bea seems very relaxed.
Yes. Speaking of, how do Bea and Gerri get to the point?
I think I have a short bicycle ride, and I ride my little vintage bicycle. I love a good a little pencil pant for that reason. Can ride my bike.
Imagine with the basket on the front. And
Yes. Yes. There's definitely a basket, and there's always little snackies in the basket.
Just a baguette.
Yeah. Yeah, some berries.
Yeah.
In a little cloth.
Incredible. Ready for, maybe this stroll will turn into a picnic. Who knows?
You always have to be prepared.
Yeah, imagine
Oh,
the
a bell. Ding ding. Bring, bring, bring. Yeah, it's one of the ones where you press it, where you press it towards you. Bring, bring. That one.
Yeah. I think, yeah, you hear the motorcycle in the distance and try to respond with some brings, but they definitely can't hear you on the hog.
What?
I'm going, and I ride it so leisurely, by the way. I am in no rush. I am such a leisurely.
What are you wearing
Might
today?
fall over.
Today, what am I wearing?
Yeah.
White linen pencil silhouette pants and a abstract blue and white printed caftan style top with a thin little red belt tied around the waist. I dye my hair brown. I a few strands of silver are coming through, but I do still.
Oh. I love it. Yeah, then lastly, Gerri, after your sun salutations, how do you make your way to the park?
I honestly think Gerri just walks, which means she always shows up just in time for book club. And always like a little sweaty, but still just smelling like very much of the incense or whatever she burns while she's doing her sun salutations. I think she has a very, very pleasant walk. She makes sure to like greet any animals that walk by. And if she passes any particularly alluring flowers, she will pick them and bring them to set on book club, or to just say like everyone just always excited to share her finds as she takes that walk.
Oh.
That's Gerri.
Great. Now as we're heading to the Verdant Point, we're gonna get a little crunchy for a second. Something we should have maybe done a little bit before. At the beginning of every session, a couple things happen. The first thing is everyone gets an ability point. Now, at least of this first session, you get an ability point. So the abilities in this game are vitality, composure, reason, presence, and sensitivity. And basically, these will fuel how you roll for things. You'll add these to, when I ask you to roll something, you'll add these points to your roll. They're your modifiers. Now, vitality is anything that's your just athleticism, your endurance, things like that. Your even just how physical you are as a person, are all things that you could use for vitality. Composure is exactly the definition of composure. It's your ability to keep calm, to be direct, to smooth things, to handle yourself in a tough situation. Reason is things like studying or solving a problem, or you're really even examining a crime scene, detective stuff. It would be a lot of reason things. Really just anything that has to do with, your brain. Presence is your charm, your charisma, your ability to gain followers, is what we would call it in our millennial selves would call it. It's your presence. And then sensitivity, that has to do with anything supernatural, which is a very unique skill, and maybe not all are specifically aware of it in this moment. It's something that might come into play at a later date, but it can be very useful.
And do we get one from character creation and one at the beginning of the session, or just one total?
One total for this.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. And the way we get to it, I will get more. I will explain in a second.
I'm putting my one in presence. Do I get to do that?
Yeah, just go ahead and do it.
So
I'm doing that because of my leather jacket and the hood.
Does it
specifically.
start with the numbers that are sort of faintly in here, and then we go from there?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I feel like Molly might be sensitive. Is that crazy?
No, she definitely can be, and I mean, it.
I
really
know
can
also.
Yeah.
Gerri is sensitive, right? Not that that matters, but
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that's
I mean,
Yeah, and
Jerry's
you don't-
definitely sensitive.
Yeah.
Motley
Well,
does not know.
It doesn't have to be balanced. That's just I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, and that's what I'm torn about is like she's so much softer than Claire the person. So it's
Well, if you're thinking, I'll say that I'll
Yeah,
put
please.
my one in vitality because, whoo boy, do I keep it moving. Some have called me a busybody, perhaps.
I'm gonna do composure.
Love
Okay.
it.
I have a question. So, okay, I'm making sure I'm like not muted. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so what we did in so we're adding to what we did already in character creation.
So when I
Or
was
no?
looking at what you wrote earlier, I think you already did yours. That's what we're just
Okay.
doing now. We just didn't do during the character stream. Earlier, you added yourself a sensitivity, so you would have.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the move that Gerri has comes with one sensitivity. Does
Yeah.
that replace the one that you get normally?
So Gerri took one from the Maven move, and then just one on
Oh,
top of
and
it.
one extra. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Yay.
Cool.
I think I'm gonna go composure.
And then composure. Great. Steady hand, which makes sense with your
Yeah,
scrapbooking.
that's what I was thinking. She's
Looking
also
and
pretty even,
doctor.
Yeah, she's pretty even keeled when it comes
yeah.
to stressful situations, like
That's
the amount
true.
of children
Yeah.
that are running in bleeding or barfing or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows what the children are doing, you know? So I think over
Oh.
time that evens a person out.
Incredible. Perfect. Well then, now we'll talk about how these things advance. So you have a little XP tracker, and you gain XP from your end of session section. So next on your character sheet, there is end of session. Right now, I'm gonna have each of you pick 2 more of these questions on the sheet besides the first one. These are things you're trying to do. They're your goals for the session. So, like, if you're, secretly trying to undermine the authority of local official would be like, finding clues behind the police officer's back or whatever. Or even it doesn't have to be them. It could just be it could be the owner of a shop. It would be a local official in their shop. Things like that. And at the end of the session, we'll talk through, did you succeed in all your goals? And if you did, you'll get an XP point for each goal that you succeeded in. And once you get 5, you gain an advancement, which you'll get to pick one of those on that list. And these can overlap. You can all pick the same ones if you want. It doesn't have to be different. We don't even necessarily have to talk about them if we want to keep them hidden for some reason. But it will probably be pretty clear when we decide to bring them up.
Ooh, exciting. Okay.
And yeah, this gives you something to try to focus towards when we're doing our role play. So, but yeah, so while our Mavens are looking at their end of session notes, I am going to talk a little bit more about Brindlewood Bay. So, the word brindle means, like, it usually refers to an animal or a dog that has a coloring that reflects tiger stripes of some kind. I know Tammy's dog Vader is brindle. It is his coloring. And so I've decided in this version of Brindlewood Bay, there is beyond the bay, beyond the town, there's this thick pine forest that is split up by these long eroded bluffs that poke out almost in lines across the skyline, giving it that striped appearance, even though it's just green and brown. And that doesn't give an exception at Verdant Point, where we're all going to go. Verdant Point is on the north side of Brindlewood Bay, as I said. It's a small park that goes onto the ocean. Along the edge of the ocean, there is a cement path for walking and biking and just general leisure for the people in the town and the tourists. Between the cement path and the rest of the world, there's a dense wall of pine forest that fills the park. That has trails going through it. The only thing that really breaks up the pine forest is one large bluff, eroded cliff face that sticks out that actually has a very nice small little waterfall that presents a bit of a rainbow in the morning sun when the sun from the east rises and hits it. But it's kind of a space is normally slept on by the locals, mostly just because, like all things that are beautiful in Brindlewood Bay, it is a tourist destination. It lost a lot of its sparkle for the regulars, as they would say, just because of, what place that you might once bring your sweetie is some place that you might, find a loose fanny pack or a bottle of suntan lotion that someone didn't recycle, things along that line. But it's still off season here. It's early May. The tourists aren't going to start coming in for another month or so, and it really starts to warm up, and all the green is really coming in. I mean, luckily this is a pine forest, so it is green year round. But the grass is getting there. The grass that still exists has turned yellow and is starting to poke through again. It's not the warmest place, and the sea breeze coming off with the ocean spray. The plants take a little bit longer to pick up. And we find ourselves rolling in on a hog. We have Phyl and Molly, who probably just pass Bea on her bicycle. As you're pulling into the Verdant Point, everyone sits, waits, maybe has a little bit of a snack from Bea's basket.
Pretzels.
And pretzels.
Oh, you brought nice snack. Oh.
No, the pretzels add a certain texture to the layout. We need it. We need them.
They have ranch seasoning on them.
That is all right, because my food today is mostly on the sweet side. So you know what? That can provide a good counterpoint. I did make fresh marmalade.
I dip a ranch pretzel in the marmalade.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's
Chocolate bar for everyone.
As you make quite a face trying this. I mean, you always got to explore new flavors. You see Gerri rounding the corner. As she's taking her morning walk up to
Gerri.
you all. And yeah, there's a path in front of you to walk. You have a book club meeting this afternoon. You want to talk about what you're going to discuss today, just plan it all out, and then maybe so you can spend some free time in the middle of the day and then meet each other again up in the afternoon.
Should we go for a morning walk?
Out of my backpack, I take 2 of those collapsible poles, and I go and I make walking poles for myself.
Oh.
That's so nifty.
Yeah, I found these last year in Nevada, and couldn't drop them again.
Well, if they collapse like that, they'd be difficult to drop.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
I think Molly moves to if we go for a walk, I think Molly moves to take someone's arm. I think that Molly likes to walk arm in arm with someone.
It's very cute, you know. Some of you move a bit faster than others, but right now you're just hanging with your friends, and it is it's always a good way to start the day. As you round the point, you see the sun really. The point kind of blocks the sun a little bit at one point, and you round the corner, you see that waterfall with the sun shining through it and a brilliant rainbow, which is immediately disrupted by the sound of a woman's scream in the distance, probably only about 100 yards away.
I'm taking off toward the scream.
Mon Dieu! I'm running. I'm running.
I froze. I dropped all my cute little flowers in my hand.
Molly stops to help pick up the flowers, and she's like, "We gotta go, Gerri. We gotta go."
Incredible.
Your time, I can stall them if I need to.
Well, don't stall them if they're in trouble.
That's a good point.
As you are running, we're gonna do our first roll of the day.
Running.
So there are several different moves that our mavens can do. I will call out basically which one I want them to make, depending on what they're trying to do throughout the day. Right now it is early morning, so I'm gonna have just for I think because Phyl is kind of taking the lead here, you know, and Beatrice is right behind, but also trying to pay attention to the other mavens. To manage Phil's speed to getting to the scene, I'd love it if you rolled me a day move. Basically, you get to roll 2d6 and add a relevant ability that you think you have, ability score to it.
Okay. I don't know what the relevant ability would be here, really, but
Probably vitality.
I rolled like shit, so... Okay, if it's vitality, I rolled a hot 4.
4. Good start. Good start. So the way
Do I get XP from failing rolls?
No.
Do I get something from failing rolls? No? Okay.
Not quite.
Wait, what's
Okay,
the-
I thought there was
What are
the-
some
what's-
mechanic
what are
that
the
was like,
Yes.
you fail, you fail forward.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to ask. So I should have asked that beforehand. But whenever you make a day move, I'm supposed to ask you, and I will from now on. But this is also my first time running this game.
Honestly, thank you, Chaotic, for
Yeah, I was
for
saying.
the gentle reminders.
As you were describing it, I looked at my thing. I was like, "Oh crap!" So normally I would say, before you roll, I'll ask you what's the worst thing that could happen in this situation, and then I would have, and then you roll, and depending on how well you roll, I will, and what you're trying to do exactly. So as you're running here, trying to get there quickly to this scream, you roll 4. So something happens awry. You're not going to get not something that will hurt you greatly. It's not this is you're just moving quickly, but what do you think, what happens to Phyl? It maybe slows your progress a little.
I guess I probably trip over something.
Yeah.
Ow!
As you're going, you just flash back to a conversation you just had with one of your friends as you move and you hit your collapsible pole on the ground and one of them collapses on
no.
you.
God.
And throws you off balance. You just kind of, twist your ankle a bit.
Forgot to put the safety on.
Twist your ankle a bit, and you're a little bit banged up, but not fully. I'm not. This is our first roll of the game. I'm not going to make you have a condition quite yet, but and so when mavens fail rolls, I can give them conditions, which depending on the thing, what we're doing, will give you a plus or minus. Well, a condition is usually a minus to your other rolls. When conditions can be healed or things like that by doing cozy activities in your cozy place with your friends. As you round the corner, you still do, even with the collapsing pole and the twisted ankle, you do still see this scene first, Phyl. And your friends are right behind. I think Bea is right behind you. Maybe, honestly, probably helped catch you as you kind of twisted when your pole collapsed. His Bea's big and is tall and very strong, and not big, but tall and very strong and graceful.
Lithe.
I love her.
What you see there is a young woman there that is kind of standing there like with her hands on her face. She's got like long flowing hair, has a very thin build, but is graceful in a way, even in this shocked state. Her flowing clothes kind of blow in the breeze. And you see a woman with the first character you're going to see is one with the craziest name I thought of so far, Misty Sprinkle.
Oh.
Do we know her?
Some of you might know her. I think Gerri definitely knows her. I think So Gerri, you would know. I know the rest of you can decide if you would know her as well. But Misty Sprinkle is in her like early 30s. She owns a bead shop on the beach, right next to the docks, where she makes handcrafted beads and beaded jewelry and things. And is generally, she's the kind of person that talks very breathily, and whenever she talks to you, she kind of looks past you. It seems like she doesn't know exactly where the focus is in the conversation, but it's still your direction, so you know she's talking to you, but something is off about the sight of it. But she is kind of like just standing in the middle of the path, looking towards the forest, and seems to be kind of in shock.
Are you hurt? Are you okay? Are you in danger?
She points to into the brush to the side, and she goes, I think so. I think there's a body in there.
A what?
A body. A dead one. I was going to there's some driftwood in there I was going to pull out for my jewelry, and saw a foot.
I think as Gerri and I walk up to join the situation, Molly's immediate response is, "Oh, honey, why don't you go sit over there and have this? Here, I was saving this for myself. I brought 2 for myself. I know that's poor form, but here you go." And she hands her a chocolate bar and sort of just is like, "You better stick around because we're going to have to call the sheriff. But in the meantime, if you would like to just go take a seat over there, that would probably be best."
Thank you. Yeah, no, yeah, okay. She's definitely in some sort of little bit of shock and just takes direction very easily. Takes your chocolate bar.
Molly is like checking her visually for like signs of actual shock to make sure that she's like physically okay.
Yeah.
Nurse and all.
Yeah, I think that's just something you can do. I'm not going to make you roll quite for that. Day moves are a thing that you do when you're doing something risky. So I think that this is something that's not risky. It's something that she's a pro at. So it's something you can do. She looks fine. She's just she was just surprised and startled. Maybe hasn't seen a dead body before, but at least not one in a bush. But yeah, so she takes your candy bar, goes over this bench that faces the ocean that she can sit on, not too far away from you all. She does sit noticeably on the far side of the bench, just because to get as far away from this body as possible, but still there. What do you do?
I guess I'm gonna go over to the
Unmute,
body.
Kanisha.
God, trying to
sorry,
say
Kanisha.
you're fine. I think Gerri, as she's coming up, kind of like sees, Molly go into nurse mode and like sees that, she's kind of like physically taken care of, and Jerry's like really avoidant of like death, and it's bad vibes, so doesn't really want to go check out this body yet. It's gonna let everyone do it first, and instantly goes up to Misty and is like, "Oh my god, Misty, no!" and does some breathing exercises with her. They're just over there sawing it a little bit.
Yeah, Gerri takes her to the side a little bit, maybe even, takes her a little bit further away, closer to the water, because she, Missy she works on the beach and she does, spends a lot of her time there. It's kind of a safer spot for her. So you take her to the side, and you can have a moment to kind of hang out with her and chat if you want. But meanwhile, you're gonna go look at this body.
Yeah, I take my newly safetied pole over to the body. I'm
I'm
gonna use the
coming-
pole to hold back the grasses or whatever it is.
I'm coming behind you. I like look over your shoulder as you're
Same.
doing all this.
I think Molly's like, maybe there's a chance they're alive.
Unfortunately, I'm thinking I hope I don't recognize them.
Oh
Oh,
God.
that's so sad but true.
You move back this brush with your pole. You know, that's not too far away from where the cliff is and the waterfall. Move it aside, and I'm going to have you roll again here, Phyl, just because you're in the front here.
Shit.
You're gonna make a meddling move. Now, this is when you're looking for clues, conducting research, and I would love to know what's the worst that could happen with this metal when you're looking at this fresh body.
The worst that could happen probably is that it's my granddaughter. That would be the worst that could happen, right? Like,
okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Oh my god.
if I'm talking about Snake Eyes moment, that would be the Snake Eyes moment.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Roll, and yeah, you can add whatever you're thinking here. I would say you could add maybe if you're looking at a body, you could do composure. You could maybe, if you're trying to, while you do this, keep your friends calm, keep this, the situation light. You could do presence, things like that.
Yeah, I think probably I'm trying to play it like whatever I see, I'm trying to play it like it does, like it impacts me less than it does. Like I'm like the like very defiant or like unaffected, stoic maybe one. So I don't know if that's composure or presence. They're both one, so it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 9.
The 9. It's a success.
Whew. It's not
Hell
my
yeah.
granddaughter.
But there is a bit
Thank
of a
God.
Ugh.
That was such a dark way to start.
I know,
Right.
right? The darkest way to start.
You move some brush aside. You can tell that the brush is very disturbed around where this body was with this, and it
Like
seems
somebody
like
walked around it?
it seems with this you're gonna get a clue.
Oh.
What you find just looking around and moving, he fell into the bush. You could tell, but not from forward, not from backwards. He seems to have fallen from above. You see a man that you may recognize. He is another person that works now near the docks. This is a man named Brian Spencer. Brian is a red-faced man with well-worn overalls, missing a boot. He's often covered in mud as he is today, but usually it's dry. Today it's very, very wet mud. It comes up to his elbows and to his knees.
This man is in the tree, or this is the man who's
on
dead
the ground. Yeah, he fell.
Okay.
He fell from somewhere above and is on the ground. And he is definitely not moving. I will say, with a 9, you definitely have to, in order to like see him, you had to kind of roll him over, to see who his face is. So there is a chance, that you had to handle the body a little bit.
Can I handle it with my pole?
Yeah, but still, it's definitely, in order to see who he was, you had to move it a little bit. So you did tamper a little beforehand. So there is that implication there.
Well, I know Molly said we have to call the sheriff. My eyes are rolling all the way back in my head as if the sheriff has ever done anything good for this town.
I think Molly does have her phone like out, and the obviously the text on her phone is like 7 times the normal size, and she's like, "What do you have a name for the sheriff?"
The sheriff's name is, I wrote it down. Sheriff Milkent.
What's his first name? Or what's their first name?
Gregory.
She has him in her phone as Gregory.
Oh God.
And she looks at Phyl kind of knowingly and is like, better to be on the right side of the law
Amanda
than the
de la
wrong side
Court-
of a jail cell.
Does Amanda Delacourt ever call the police? No.
When she might get arrested. I think that she might alert the police. If you need to deal with a body, you have to tell someone. What, are we supposed to clean up the bodies now too?
That's a good point, actually.
As
Salient,
your-
call Greg.
But that's what I'm saying. Better, because then we can ask Greg later for more
Should I flip it back
information.
over? Should I
No,
flip it back
no,
over?
no.
Are you sure?
And then Molly flips it back to the way it was.
Flips it back
Like,
over?
didn't you say
Oh,
you flipped
God.
it back over and then she flips it back? Like
Oh
you
my
flipped it.
God.
But Molly literally pulls like little gloves out of her medical bag.
And use the pole.
Flips it back. I don't know how to use the pole. And I think that's when Gregory answers. I don't know how to use the pole.
As you're calling Gregory, yeah, you get a phone. He goes, hello, this is Sheriff Milken.
Oh,
Even though he knows it's you, he still
Gregory.
replies.
well, we're here at the park, and we seem to have stumbled, quite literally, upon a body of a young man you might recognize. And she like tells
Oh.
him the sitch, and then
Yeah, a body.
I don't think she lies. I think she very calmly is like, you know, Misty found him. This is who it is. We may or may not have rolled him over to find out.
Oh, jeez.
I
You
was
can't go
checking-
touching bodies.
What if he was alive, Gregory?
Well,
Would you
I
not
think
want
you'd
me
be
to
able to
roll him
tell.
over
I
and
mean-
check for signs of life?
can't you do that when he's on his? Well, fine.
I am
I'll
a
send.
nurse, Gregory. We'll see you very
Yes,
soon. I have
yes.
some chocolate for you.
Well, I'm on another case. I'm actually out of town. I'm gonna send, but I'll call Deputy Bailey and Bill to go to stop by.
Do we like Deputy Bailey and Bill?
Deputy Bailey, from what you remember, is she is a very tall, thin woman who is she's very super serious, all business all the time. But you know for a fact she's only been on the force for like a year. So while she has a very like focused demeanor, she has very little like field experience. And you know, Bill probably won't be very useful in this situation. Probably shouldn't send Bill at all. Bill Perch is is the Brindlewood Bay like social worker for the area. So he might be around. He might
Do
be
you
able
work at
to
the
help.
school?
He does, yes. He works at the school. as well.
Gregory, between you and I'm not sure that Bill needs to see this. You know, he's probably
Weak stomach.
busy.
Yes, one of my notes for Bill is queasy around bodies.
Oh God.
But I am
he's-
looking forward to seeing Deputy Bailey. She is such a sharp dresser.
Yeah, she is. I mean, Bill needs to kind of there's gonna be people there. I need somebody to handle the situation while Bailey is looking at the working with the body. So Bill will come. He'll be fine. He needs to, it's his job. He'll be okay.
I think the moment we hang up, Molly turns to the Mavens and is like, Gregory let me know that it's important that we manage the people who are coming because Bill's likely to be vomiting.
Classic Bill.
Right.
As you say that, running around the corner, you see another person who works at the school that you know. This is this is Clive Smith. Clive Smith is the gym teacher at the school. He is thick of neck and thick of brow. He is very, he runs with perfect form, points his elbows out when he runs, and his knees all the way up to a pure 90. And the way he holds himself, he pulls so tightly, like his head's gonna pop off at any moment. But he's not like aggressive. He's not like angry. He just looks like he's gonna pop. Like he's very vascular all the time.
Oh.
But he comes rounding the corner in his short running shorts and his tank top, and just looks at you all and goes, he just stops and runs in place a little bit. What's going on?
No.
Waiting
And
on the sheriff.
Molly kind of looks at Bea.
Just have a whole situation. You know what? If I must say, how old is this?
He's in his mid 40s. He stops and he does like a deep runner stretch while you're talking to him.
Okay. I must say, yes, we have a bit of a situation here. The sheriff is coming, but Greg's a friend. I noticed, your form is looking very sharp, but have you ever thought that it might be better on the joints if you did it this way? And I want to I'm trying to distract this man from thinking too hard about.
Would he know this guy also?
Yeah, you've probably met him. I mean, he might have.
No. Would he know the dead fellow?
He might. Yeah,
Okay.
you're not
curious.
sure. I mean, it's one of those things. There's not a lot of people in the town, So really, it's like the people who live here. Almost all of them either work at like the school or the or like a similar business or own their own business.
Okay.
In the town.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Totally. As you're gonna kind of, give Clive some pointers, I'm gonna say this is gonna be it's a meta. I'm gonna have you, no, it's a day move. I'm gonna do a day move. So what could go wrong in this situation, for Bea?
I think what could go wrong is I come across as, really fishy instead of just my usual, a hand in everybody's pot kind of, concern. So yeah, I guess the worst thing that could happen is, this guy, Clive, decides to call the sheriff himself and, narc on me. And make me a suspect.
Incredible. Great. Give me a roll.
All right.
You can add. I would say you could add your vitality or presence.
Okay, those are both 1. Actually, those are where I added my point. So, 8. No,
8.
plus 1, 9.
9. You're giving Clive these instructions on how to run. Clive is the coach of the track and field team, and the cross country team. So he listens to you, he humors you, and does kind of follows your form a little bit. Talks about how it's like, well, you gotta, you put your legs up to a 90 so that you can get that pound down and hit the ball of your foot to get that spring action.
You need to be thinking about the long-term orthopedic risks. Trust me, you don't want a hip replacement, okay?
And he gets distracted briefly for a second, and then goes, but why is the sheriff coming? The sheriff is coming for a reason?
Oh, well...
I mean, I'm standing...
in the woods, yeah.
I'm standing extremely suspiciously over this dead body. Like...
No, that's... you had to roll over a 10 for him to get completely sidetracked, so...
Fair.
But yeah,
I think I, sit back from the body a little bit, put my hands on my hips, and go, poor Mr. Spencer.
He looks over, kind of, he's tall. He's, of a height of Bea. And he kind of looks over and goes, oh, God. Is that Brian?
Oh, I think so.
Is he okay?
No.
You want to look?
No. You do not need to look at that. It would seem that he's fallen.
Oh, well.
I think Molly looks up. Do we see where he's fallen from?
Yeah, you look upwards, and you can tell there is, as I said, there is this kind of cliff and this waterfall. He may have fallen all the way off the cliff.
Oh.
And it looks like he lost a boot in the process. Has gone somewhere. There's like a broken branch or two. He definitely fell from high up.
I want to go up to the top of that cliff.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, it would seem. Nope.
Brian?
Well, Mr. Smith, it would seem that Brian has taken a great fall.
Oh,
And
here.
though we are like all the king's men, we cannot put him back together again.
Oh well, good thing you called Gregory.
Yes,
you know,
Gregory's
he's
out of town, but Deputy Bailey will be on her way. Do you know her? She is such a sharp dresser. Is Mr. Smith, what's his deal? What's his sitch? He married, he's single, he got a ring on? What's up? What's up with Deputy Bailey? This is Molly's whole life.
A little busybody.
Yeah, I imagine Clive is maybe he was married and is now divorced. But
how long has it been? You are such a kind young man. Deputy Bailey is new to town. She needs someone to show her around.
I mean, yeah, I haven't met her. Is she do you know how old she
Well,
is?
why don't you just take a run around and we will see you soon.
You sure I can just go for yeah, okay.
Well, what are they going to question you?
You don't need anything? Okay, I'll
What did
go.
you do? Do you know him?
Well, I know who Brian is.
Are you friends with him?
Well, not particularly. I mean, Brian does own the local bait shop on the docks. So, occasionally I'll go fishing and I'll buy some bait from Brian.
Well, tell us everything you know about him and then go run around.
But I mean, how, he's a guy, he, mostly
Was
keeps
he
to himself.
happy? Was he living well? Do you know if he made anyone angry? Do you know if he himself was...
Well, listen, I am going to have you...
Molly's like, there are three options. He fell, he jumped, or he was pushed. Like, she's trying to do a vibe check.
Yeah, I think a vibe check is gonna be
metal as fuck.
Yeah, I think this is a metal. I think this is a
like,
metal
let
move.
me set you up and use that as an excuse to get information. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you give me a medal. Roll the Metal, which is a great podcast you should all listen to.
Roll the metal.
Roll
Yeah.
the metal.
Yeah, it's a Brindlewood May podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been listening to it. It's very
Okay,
good.
what do I add? Anything?
You get to add a relevant skill. So you are, I would say this is either, there's probably presence.
Not present.
Unless you can make a argument for something else.
Well, I think reason, only because she's trying to, like, the reasonable thing of, like, if someone has fallen from a great height, there are three options. This is what I want to know.
Yeah,
Or this is what I'm trying to suss.
Yeah, you can roll metal.
That's 9. I got an 8, but it's a 9 with reason. It's also an 8 with presence, so either way.
Great. You're looking over this man, right? He goes, well, I don't really know, I don't know if that would want to harm Ryan. I mean, he, he's an all right guy. I mean, we don't always get along, but we don't do too much.
Why wouldn't you get along?
Oh, well, I mean, Brian, every time I go in, I try to tell him, he drinks a lot of pop and he, doesn't eat very well. And I'm like, I guess it doesn't matter now, but I'm always like, Brian, you could do better for yourself. You can, exercise, keep your body right. And he gets really upset when I talk about that kind of stuff. I mean, like, he's a guy who sells bait and has fish all the time. You'd think, fish is full of, the good fats and omega-3s. You'd think he would have a better diet, but he must fry it all.
Clive.
My God.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, fine, sure. And he's like stretching,
Do you have a junk food that you enjoy? Or what is your favorite treat, Clive?
Oh, I usually will have every once in a while I'll have a vitamin water.
And you know the way that vitamin water makes you feel?
Hydrated, yeah. Refreshed, maybe?
Great.
I don't know what you're going for.
That feeling, that nice feeling that you have. Some people get that feeling from vitamin water. Other people get that feeling from pop. And telling people what to eat. I eat chocolate every day, Clive. I'm 72 years old.
That's moderation is important. I don't know. I do teach a health class.
And I'm
Don't
a nurse.
Back Deputy Bailey to this woman. I mean, this man.
Yeah. Have you met Misty?
Who? No, I haven't.
I point to Misty and Gerri breathing on the water.
As you point, we're gonna cut over to Gerri and Misty. Misty is sitting there on the shore. You see, she is kind of like her, hands are shaking a little bit. She's got a beautiful piece of like it's a shell that she's drilled a hole in it that she's trying to figure out what to put with it. It's like a long kind of pointed shell. She's like, oh, I had never. I've seen a body before, but it's always been in like a morgue or a, something that would make sense. I mean, the fact that it was, it's, I didn't notice it then, but I could just see the ear. But now that I know, I could hear that they say that it's Brian. Oh, that makes it even worse.
Oh, that is terrible, Misty. What were you doing in the morning? Maybe that is a normal place, but is that a normal place for you to be?
She looks kind of confused at you and goes, well, there's sometimes you just find your way into different places, and it's about living, sometimes you just have to see what's after. I was a youth once.
Isn't she like 30?
Yeah, she's like 30. And you're much older than her.
Well, yeah, you act like you still are a youth, but
you're too kind.
That can be an inspiration. I understand. Think about the shell and the lifespan that it has seen. You turn it over. It's been a home. It's been something to shed. And now, I think Gerri takes it and twists it around a few times. Now it's a beautiful pendant for a long necklace, and it could have many lives after that. And so maybe if we think about Brian as going to his own next life, that's one way to think about it. A sad way.
Oh, wow. Gerri, you are so wise. So she does that thing where she like looks right. She turns to look at you instead of this pendant now and looks like right around you. It's like both of her eyes are around you as she looks. She goes, I have the right cord right here, and she reaches into her bag and pulls out this long cord, and is like, here, come. I think I saw another shell that would go perfectly with this. She seems to have recovered greatly by your the wisdom that you have shared with her today. And she grabs you and pulls you along the beach, for a bit further away from the other mavens, but is taking you about. She goes, yeah, I hope Brian's next life is better. His shop isn't too far from mine, and it was, it's wooden slats, and it doesn't really match the rest of the decor. And I always felt like he could have done better. It lowered. My shop is right nearby, and it doesn't really. It clashed a bit, but I'm sure. I hope in his next life he can do something a bit more beautiful.
More beautiful, Misty. I think you're right. That's positive, but it sounds like you wanted to cancel Brian in this life, like. Misty or Gerri has learned a new word. It's canceling, so everyone's getting canceled. your shops were in perfect harmony doesn't mean that he had to cancel the aesthetic of his. I think I'm sad that you couldn't find a perfect harmony in Brian's current life.
It's not his current life anymore.
Well, his
Yeah.
most recent life.
Too late now, I guess. And she says it's too late now, and then she immediately like flips back to what she was doing and looking for shells.
Damn, girl.
Continues on.
Would you
I
describe
think-
that as a clue?
I would just say it makes her a suspect.
Okay. I'm like trying to make sure I understand the way the like
I'll say if it's a
mechanics-
clue.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I will say it's a clue distinctively.
Thank you.
In order to get a clue, you have to succeed in a medal.
Okay.
So,
I just wanted to make sure I was understanding.
and I guess you did succeed in a medal when you were talking to Clive earlier. It's the clue that you got from Clive was, I guess, I screwed that up a little bit, but we'll get it back next time. There'll be an actual physical object
First
next
of
time.
all,
It's made
how
as a
dare
spec.
you? Second of all, it's totally fine.
I'm getting there. But incredible. At this time, you see rounding the corner, you see three figures. Make that actually four. You look beyond. You see, this road does not have a like you can't drive up on this road. The stone, like the paved path, is like sidewalk width. It's not much wider than that, so it's not like they could bring the sheriff car right up to it. Is it called a sheriff car, sheriff vehicle? I don't know.
Paddy wagon.
Wee woo.
They leave the wee woo in the parking lot and
Squad
go forward. I guess squad car.
Sheriff's.
Ford
Oh my god, there's
Explorer?
literally. I knew the girl whose dad was a sheriff in my hometown, and I cannot remember what they called it. Because it was like parked in her driveway all the time. Doesn't matter.
It's the sheriff mobile. You see
Yeah,
leading
wee-woo.
it.
Cops.
You see leading this with this group with just very determined steps are tall deputy Jill Bailey. She does as Molly has pointed out, she is her uniform is crisp with a capital P crisp.
She is a sharp dresser.
She you like even definitely has shined her boots. They go up, tucks her pants right in. Is just her whole everything is pressed. But tottering, trying to keep up behind is a much shorter Bill Perch, the Brindlewood May Main social worker that works with the sheriff department. Bill has very soft eyes, a body of pudding, and but besides that he's very bright. He's very very intelligent person. And they walk up, followed a bit behind by two people who have seemed to maybe picked up on the way, maybe have seen that this was interesting. The sheriff is, the deputy's going, what's happening? Blah blah blah. You see one woman in her probably late 40s, early 50s. I will say definitely Bea. Maybe honestly, definitely Bea. Maybe Phyl. Maybe even Molly would know her. Oh, and actually, now I'm taking it back. Everybody knows this woman because she definitely goes to Gerri for tarot readings. This is Ellie Klausman. She owns a B&B in town. She is very tight-faced, very purse. She is very routine-oriented kind of person. She's got a schedule, keeps to it, moves quick. She wears a really well pristine tracksuit. She seems to be out for a power walk, her morning exercise. She goes for a power walk around the point, but has been caught up in this mess. And then trailing the farthest back, looking honestly just kind of tired and annoyed, you see a young man, maybe 18, 19. You probably haven't met him because he probably would have been in school recently, but it's been maybe not since you have retired or left school. He is like a young man. He's really not paying attention, but is like moving slowly. He's wearing a like park outfit, like he works for the park staff. Brindlewood Parks. His polo, he's got a green polo that has kind of got like a bleach stain or two on it, where someone tried to clean it and it's been screwed up. Got a slouchy beanie like I do on. It's a little bit warm for that, but he's still going for it. And a Monster energy drink in his hand. And definitely like skate shoes. And
What was his name? Sorry,
you actually don't know
Oh,
his name.
okay.
You haven't met him before. But and they all walk up, and you see Deputy Bailey here. Goes, all right, everybody, step away from the crime scene. Please point out the body to me. We need to quarantine off this area. And
I think.
Yeah.
I think while we were waiting for them to arrive, I dipped and tried to climb to the top of the cliff.
Okay. Off. Phyl heads off through the brush.
This is an incredible move. Molly covers for you 100%.
Oh, great.
He's climbing the cliff.
100%.
I'm obviously trying to go around the back or something to figure out a way back.
Yeah,
but...
there are paths. There are like hiking trails through this woods that will get you up there.
You're free soloing this cliff.
I'm free soloing a cliff.
72
Side
years
note,
old.
did you see somebody free soloed the Salesforce Tower today? In the name of pro-life propaganda? Unreal. Anyway, look that up after this, everybody, because truly wild.
Donate to this charity stream.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to do it for any other reason, and instead he was pro-life Spider-Man. But I can't believe somebody fucking free soloed a skyscraper in San Francisco. That's nuts.
Somebody who sucks.
Somebody who fucking sucks.
I wouldn't even free solo the playground in the park down the street at this age. I'm speaking as me here.
I don't even free solo the stairs to the laundry room.
Seriously.
While Phyl does her rock climb,
go
Molly
Phyl.
and Bea are here, and you see Jill, Deputy Jill Bailey does kind of like start walking towards the brush, and you're both approached by Bill, Jill and Bill, Bill the social worker. He comes up to you and goes, "Oh, is everyone all right? I heard there was a body."
Yes.
He sits there and waits for there to be a problem.
I'm looking toward it.
Missy seems kind of fine.
Yeah.
Gerri's kind of taking care of her.
I think Molly sort of gestures in that direction and is just like, well, we heard Misty scream, but don't worry, Gerri's taking good care of her. And the three of us were out for our morning walk, and Phyl is joining us. She was going for a longer stroll, but it would seem that Brian has taken quite the fall, but he's missing a boot.
Right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are me and Misty in earshot?
I'll say yes. You can hear what's going on for sure, because you can head back whenever. I just know you're doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can hear.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I've headed back already.
I think Molly waves at you as they come up, as the group of people walks up, and as she's saying this, Gerri joins.
Okay.
Yes.
I think maybe Misty seems like she's trailing behind, but Gerri wants to get involved now that I don't have to look directly at the body.
Incredible. You guys trail back, and there's starting to be a bit of a crowd that's forming around this area, and you can tell immediately it's stressing Deputy Bailey out, like that there is a crowd around, and keeps turning back to be like, step back, even though you're like not getting any closer. She goes, oh God,
Are we the crowd?
you're the crowd, yeah.
Molly like looked to help crowd control and then realized we were the crowd and was like, oh,
Am I the drama?
oops.
As she's looking over the body, Bea, approaching you is Ellie walks up to you and she goes, so what's going on? What happened?
Well, we were just taking a stroll and a situation found us, as it often does.
Situation? Details, come on.
C'est la vie. Ellie, do I trust Miss Ellie?
You know Ellie. Ellie speed walks around all of town and listens in on everybody. Ellie is a bit of a gossip.
Well, yeah, so, it's... I'm sure you'll find out one way or another, so I will say it was Brian. He appears to have fallen. But please keep this to yourself for the time being.
Brian Johnson or Brian Spencer? It's
Brian S. Brian S.
Bait shop Brian.
Yeah, bait shop Brian. As you say that, you can tell she gets a bit uncomfortable when she realizes it's Brian. She goes, "Oh, well, that's a shame. That's a shame." And
How old
kind
is
of
Ellie?
steps away.
Hey, have you heard anything about what's going on with him lately? I haven't. I've been a little distracted. I recently became a grandmother, so I haven't been, as up to date as I may have once been. So have you heard anything about Brian lately?
Oh, I don't talk about Brian. I don't. No. Brian and I aren't close. I barely ever talk to him.
You barely ever talk to him, and you don't talk about him. That seems like something. There might be a little bad blood. I won't pry.
I'll pry.
Gerri turns a bit and says, as an empath, I am definitely sensing some animosity.
Take me away.
Incredible. I guess there isn't really a vibe check in this game. So I think, yeah, she definitely is being very cagey. She goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I just, Brian's all the way on the shore and I live in town. So I don't really, but she definitely knows who he is. And she kind of steps back and away if she tries to step back and away from the group a bit.
Can you name others who live on the shore? Or is Brian your only acquaintance on the shore? You do know where he lives.
She looks around. She goes, I think Misty lives on the shore, too.
Do you talk about Misty?
She goes, I'm not, I don't know what you're implying. It's not like I'm a gossip or anything. I don't talk about people behind my back.
I'm just saying that you explicitly said that you don't talk about Brian, so I was just curious if you talk about other people or not.
Gerri jumps in. Ellie, well, Misty lives on the shore. Have you ever visited Misty's shop?
Oh, yeah, a couple times. It's not really my style, in my aesthetic, but the kids, for Mother's Day, one of my kids got me a beaded bracelet that was supposed to mean love,
Stop by again. We have to say goodbye to Brian's shop. Did you know it was just next door?
Oh, no, I had no idea.
Interesting. Maybe we should take a gander. Yeah, we should definitely take a gander to memorialize Brian. Who knows what's going to happen to it next?
He goes, yeah, you guys
Sounds
can
like
do that.
Jerry's
I
gonna
don't.
burn the store down. It was the
Viking
eyes,
funeral, the
like,
bait
who
shop.
knows?
She gives you similar eyes back and is like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Brian. And then she kind of moves on with her power walk and just kind of try to leave the scene, feeling looking very flustered by this interaction.
Now,
Yeah.
there's a suspect, sorry, a suspect in my book.
Definitely sensing some anxiety from that direction.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Phyl, you're trudging through the forest. I would
This
love
is incredible.
for a day move. What's the
Alright.
worst thing that can happen to Phyl when she's trudging through this forest?
I don't know. She gets attacked by a wolf.
It doesn't.
Oh God!
She's fallen and she can't get up.
Yeah, I would say these are.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't. I guess I say the worst thing. I guess in likely.
I know you're
worst
asking
thing.
people with anxiety, like
Yeah.
the worst case scenario, and I'm like,
Yeah, I think
I'll give you
by
the worst.
saying the worst thing. I mean something more.
The stick breaks, she falls
Something
down,
likely.
the wolves come out.
Something
She
more.
tumbles
Something more
down
along
and
those lines.
drowns in the waterfall, like
Yeah,
you know.
She falls. Maybe she gets poison
All
ivy.
12
Things like
people
that.
that
is
could
more
be
what
the
I'm looking
murderer
for.
come find her.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe the bad scenario is. I don't know. I think if we're talking about the hike to get up there,
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
maybe she drinks all her water too early and then simultaneously is so thirsty and has to pee really bad as she gets to the top of the hill.
That sucks.
Okay. I love that. All right, roll me.
Is that a good middle
Yeah,
ground? I don't
perfect.
Oh my god, you don't have to
Perfect.
pee on the crime scene.
Give me a vitality roll.
know. All
Sheriff
right.
Bailey?
He's-
Sorry, Sheriff Greg.
Sheriff Greg?
Gregory's coming for you.
All right. A vitality roll. You know what it is. It's pee time. I got a 5.
You got a 5. You get partway through the woods. You haven't found the trail yet, and it's time to go. It's time to go.
I'm dropping trow.
Yeah, you
I'm-
find a tree to lean on.
I'm in my most vulnerable state. I'm dropping trow on a tree.
You find a tree to lean on, and go, and and as you're peeing, you look out into the forest, and you could see there's a hiker out in the woods. Not not looking your direction, but there is a person hiking, not too far away from you, who does kind of, as they're going, does kind of look your direction for a second, like they heard something, but starts to continue to walk again.
You're just hearing my strong flow.
They definitely pause. They go, "Hello?
Hi.
Oh, who's out there?"
It's just me. I just had to stop for a minute.
Yeah, starting to go through the brush. You see a man. He is, pretty fit looking, pretty broad shouldered. He's got, big hiking boots and hiking poles. His pants are tucked into his boots, to keep out, like ticks and things. He has got, most distinguishedly, he's got just the thickest jaw, just this low square jaw, with small eyes.
I like your
Goes-
poles.
Goes, thanks. Are you all right out here? It's the trail is over there. You should just keep to the trails when you're out in the
sorry. I stand up and button my pants.
Yeah, he's definitely like doing one of these,
When you get to my age, really
Hmm.
everything's open season.
Yeah, he's in his like late 30s, early 40s.
Can you help me back to the trail?
Definitely, yes. Here,
What was
do
your
you
name
need-
again?
Oh, my name is Rob Keene.
Rob Keene. Do I need what were you gonna say? I apologize. I
I
interrupted
don't-
you.
I see you have your own poles there, but do you need a hand, or are you or are you good?
I probably just got it. If you can just yell out if there's a branch across my way.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. He starts walking. He goes, branch. Branch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Branch.
Thank you. Oh, this is great. Good partnership.
And eventually the two of you do get back to the trail.
Great. Well, this is where I leave you. Thank you for your assistance. My bladder thanks you as well.
And you start going up the hill, and he goes, "Oh, I was going that way too."
Oh, this is where I don't leave you then.
He starts heading up the trail with you. But he's definitely like moving. He starts to move fast, like he's gonna leave you in the dust. But then like you could tell has a thought like, I can't leave this lady out here.
Don't slow down on my account.
Slows down. Oh,
I'll yell for you if I need you.
I just thought I could take this a little bit. It gets a little steep up here. I'm just watching my steps a little bit more.
Do you hike this trail a lot?
Yeah, I do. Pretty much every day.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really, this is really one of the best trails we have in Brindlewood Bay, and I go through, and you can see he's got a backpack and a plastic bag on it that's on the side that is like full of appears to be garbage. And it's like, yeah, well, people don't really respect the trails around here, and so I just spend my time really keeping the park up to its best kept.
Kind of you.
Oh yeah, it's important to me. I'm a horticulturalist.
Oh, I'm a sort of hobbyist horticulturalist myself.
Well, that's great. Do you have what kind of do you have like a garden at home?
Oh, in fact, the one on 1411 Lane. Do you know that house? I just gave you my address. Not weird.
Not weird. He thinks for a little bit and goes, maybe. I definitely have. I don't live too far away from there. I live at 2680 Lane.
26.8. Oh, in that blue Suburban.
Oh yeah. That's very astute of you. He could tell he's a little uncomfortable now. And yeah, he'll walk up the cliff with you.
Great.
We're gonna cut back now to our other mavens at the crime scene. As you're kind of in this group, you see Ellie walks away. Deputy Bailey is kind of looking through looking over the body, kind of looking through the pockets and things. What are you doing? What are you up to?
I would like to talk to the young man.
Fantastic. Yeah, you see this young man in his beanie and his polo, sitting kind of like leaning against a tree, kind of like craning to try to see the dead body, but also like has his phone out and just actively texting, but is like kind of looking.
How did you do that?
Do what?
Molly shows him her phone where the letters are big and says, I can hardly even write it out when I can see it.
Oh yeah, it's easy.
Is it muscle
it's just
memory?
texting. I guess. I don't know. Like
That's
looks
very
weird.
cool.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, who are you? Who are you?
Oh, I'm Molly.
He doesn't say anything.
You
He just nods.
You trying to see the body?
No, I just it's my job. Kind of. I man the boat landing.
Oh, so you know Brian.
Brian? Wait.
Brian Spencer? Bateman Brian?
That's Brian Spencer in there? Oh my gosh. And he like pulls his phone out and then it's like,
wait. Don't start telling a bunch of people quite yet. I don't know if they haven't figured out what happened.
Looks up at you. They don't know what happened? And starts texting again.
What did you say your name was?
My name is Doug.
Oh, Doug. Well,
Doug Barrett.
Doug. I suspect
See-
they don't know what happened. I don't know. We assume he fell, but
You see now that his beanie has got a frowny face on it, on the top of it. As he turns, he goes, "Oh wow, he fell. You think he fell off the cliff? Oh my gosh."
well, he looks
He, like-
pretty. Well,
He you can see he goes to put his like phone up to like try to take a picture, and you
Doug.
see and Bill goes, "Doug, stop."
at the same time.
Sorry.
It's
Yeah.
just poor form to take photos at a crime scene. Unless you're a crime scene photographer. Are you interested in becoming a crime scene photographer in your grown life?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of like saving up money before I go to college.
Well, crime scene photography can be a lucrative field. If you have a strong stomach. Trust me, I'm a nurse. I was a nurse.
Yeah, I just worked the boat landing.
I think
they
she
were-
pulls like a piece of that butterscotch candy and kind of tries to give it to him.
He takes it and he goes, "What is this?"
Oh, they're great. People, they exclusively sell them to old women because everyone has this connotation. But trust me, as soon as I hit 50, I started buying these things in droves.
He goes, "Okay,"
Give
and
it
he
a
just
try.
puts
If
it
you
in
hate
his
it, you can
pocket.
split it out. I won't be upset.
Because try it. What is it? Am I supposed to eat this?
Is it not clear? It's
caramel
literally
color.
wrapped like candy.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. It's really hard. It's real weird shaped. I don't know.
She laughs like so warmly and earnestly.
Puts it. Yeah. He pops it into his mouth. He's like, it's all right. Yeah, it's not bad.
It grows on you, I suppose.
Mm.
I feel a little bit like Brian was like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He wasn't a bad guy. I mean, yes. I mean,
Did you know
well, I
him
used to.
well?
Yeah. I did. I used to work for Brian.
Oh.
When I was in school. He fired me though, so
Oh.
I work at the boat landing now. I mean, it was it was my fault, but I mean, I still,
You're young.
yeah. I mean, it's a better job than I have now, but still, I mean, my dad keeps saying it's a learning experience, but I don't know. I just feel weird every time I see Brian now.
If you don't mind my asking, what did you do that was your fault?
Oh, I mixed all the baits together.
Why?
Well, one of my friends bet me that they would fight.
Oh. Doug.
Oh, I didn't know. I mean, it's not like he tells me like what. I just worked the cash register.
Did
People
they
gave me
fight?
things. I pay. No, they didn't fight it. And then I had to pick them all out, and then he fired me. It was yeah, not my best move. I was only like 16 then though, so I was a kid.
Yeah.
He's like 18 maybe now, 19.
You've learned so much already in the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, I mean, I mean that was forever ago.
Molly kind of smiles. Does he have any, like... He's wearing his uniform.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, like... Molly's looking for, like, physical clues at this point on his person. I don't think she actually thinks this young person did this, but...
Yeah. Yeah, but you're looking at his person. Roll.
It feels like it just happened, right? Like... Or does it...
Yeah,
Did the body look like it was, like,
It happened recently, not in the maybe not just like just now, but within the last day or so,
Okay.
or overnight.
Okay.
But yeah, give me a
Well, I guess
medal.
I guess she's looking for less. If it could have been overnight, then it's not really, but 9 on the dice, so I don't know what to...
9 on the
Yeah.
dice. Yeah. You can add whatever you would think.
I mean, I just keep going reason, but...
Yeah, I think that's all right. I think that's all right.
So that's a 10 then.
A 10. You are looking over this kid, and one thing seems off about him. You see he's got this ring of keys on his belt, right? But one of the keys on there seems separate, like it's on its own little ring that's been clipped on. It's got one of those big, like, boat floaties on it. But what makes it seem odd is that he has another boat floaty on his main set of keys. And that is a clue.
Is the job worse? Because why is the job worse?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't get paid as much, and I mean, I just kind of sit in this hut, and then people get mad at me for making them pay to dock their boats, to bring their boats out in the landing. Because it's like somebody's like always like, well, the price keeps going up every year.
Do you have to drive the boats? Is it like valet?
Oh no, I just when people pull in just so they're allowed to use the landing, they have to pay when they bring their own boats.
I think Molly is not, like, she's nosy, but, like, she doesn't want to be too nosy, because, like, you don't want to telegraph too much, I guess. I think she makes some small talk with him for a little while, as he kind of is still weird and cold to her, but, but I think she does have this moment of, like this kind of thing of, like, you're gonna have a lot of jobs in your life, and if this helped you learn what you want out of those jobs, maybe mixing the bait together wasn't such a bad thing.
Oh, thanks. He didn't think so. He thought he was pretty pissed.
Well, and you lost the bet, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to run to my friend's, like, mom's house afterwards, and then, like, yell that the bet was that I had to yell that I loved her and that she was a hot mom. I got really embarrassed as well. It wasn't great.
Was she a hot mom?
He like blushes. I don't know.
Lots of moms are hot. It's normal. Remember that? I yell from somewhere.
As you see, at this point, our buddy, what's his name? Clive goes back on his run. He waves you off. He goes, well, I'll check in later to see what's going on, but see if it's still going on. But good luck. And as he rounds the corner, there's just one more person shows up on their morning walk. This is a girl in her mid-20s. You see she has, like, long brown hair that has been, like, slept in and not washed, so it's kind of off at a side. She's wearing like a baggy t-shirt and sweatpants and jeans, and she is walking 5 dogs.
Wait, sweatpants and jeans?
Did I say that? Oh, I didn't mean that. I meant a type of shoes, like jogger shoes.
Okay.
And she's pulling like 5 dogs who are not cooperating.
Oh, no.
And rounding the corner. Some of you, I will say, definitely know who this is. She is, a kid who grew up around this time. She probably actually was in school around some of the times that you taught at school. She's home from college for the summer already. This is Kale Parker. She seems very overwhelmed. And is walking several dogs at this moment. It's clear to see by the way she's walking them, these are not all her dogs. who just kind of stops pulling these dogs, tries because they're trying to like play and stuff, and she's trying to pull them around the things. And you see Deputy Bailey's like, get those dogs out of here. This is not a place for dogs. Move on, move along.
Yeah, Kale, it may be best to. I don't think you'll want the dogs to go near that bush.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll try. Can you give me a hand?
Yes. Let me take one or two. I'm great with dogs.
As you do, I'm gonna have you make me a day roll.
All right.
Oh God.
What could happen that would be not beneficial to Bea while she tries to help wrangle these pups?
I think if the dogs do that classic, they run in a circle around me, chasing each other, and they tie my ankles up in their leashes, and I fall and break a hip.
Give me a roll.
That'd be pretty bad.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
Okay, this will be a. What do you think this is? Is this vitality?
Yeah, you could do vitality. You could do composure. I think you could even do presence.
Okay, let's do presence. Yeah, why not?
Get dogs to like you.
8.
8. Yeah, you can get a handle on these dogs with her. But as she's kind of passing one of them over, there's like a greyhound in the mix, that is just jets off as you're handing it, and you lose control of one of these dogs for a second. And it starts to like go right towards where the body is.
No.
And you kind of dive for the leash and grab it, but you kind of hit your knee on the ground a little bit, and you're gonna be sore later from that. But you did, but you have wrangled a couple of these pups, yeah. And I'm thinking now because we have introduced all of the suspects, and we're gonna cut to commercial for the night. And pick up next time. I know originally I wanted to do a whole scene in each day, but we spent a bit, getting ready, starting the session today.
Falling off the rails.
Yeah, so we will we'll be more on the rails for next time, and we will.
What's life without a little meander?
Yeah,
we got to meet these people and figure it out. I think that's great.
I have some theories.
Got a couple clues.
I've got to do some vocal experimentation, I feel like, for Molly. So
got a couple clues. Got a couple. Met a lot of people. Met the Deputy Bailey. And yeah, that is Brindlewood Bay, everybody. That is the first half of Murder on a Morning Stroll.
Oh my God, amazing. Okay. Hey, if you're there, if you're watching, thank you. If you're not, if you're watching later, also thank you. We raised $65 tonight, and over the course of May, we're gonna try to raise $1,000. If we raise $1,000, we'll stream cleaning out Corson and Katy's closets, maybe.
Oh my God. No, I said 1,500.
Oh, Katy did say 1,500.
My closet is actually not the thing that is so dramatically bad right now. It's just the normal room. So, whatever works.
TBD.
We could clean out our linen closet.
I think 1,000 is a cleaning stream of some sort.
Okay.
We'll say a cleaning stream of some sort. Absolutely amazing. Danny, did you write this mystery?
I did.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. That's so great. This is so exciting. Chaotic was the one who just said that in the chat. I didn't realize that. I figured you were going to use one.
I did. I looked through a bunch of them, and I was just like, I don't know. I wanted the starter one. I wanted to be my own. So,
this is
wow.
This is special. Okay, well,
I had no idea.
If you would be so kind as to maybe post the little cast of characters that you introduced us to in the Twitch Talks channel, so that people can I don't know, talk about who they like, who they don't like, who they hope the Murder Mavens pin down for the murder or whatever. That would be I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I can do that. I got it all written out.
Our first goal is going to be if we raise $250 before the final Murder Maven Brindlewood May stream, we'll do a cosplay stream.
Oh God, I gotta buy an old lady wig
as our Murder
Totally.
Mavens.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, my parents already have one. Score.
So yeah, we'll do a little Murder Maven cosplay stream if we make $250 before that moment.
I'll give myself bangs, fake bangs.
If you donate to an abortion fund in your area and send us a screenshot, that will count toward these goals. I'll keep a separate tally of what screenshots we receive. And you don't need to post them in the Twitch Talks channel. You can just DM one of us or like blot out your private information, obviously. But yeah, this is just a thing that we would like to do while we are also doing Brindlewood May, and thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm rapidly looking up who we should raid. But
Think about that.
every time. Where can the people find you out in the world? Danny, let's start with you. You got anything to plug?
Yeah, you can find me on socials as DannyNat20 all over the place. We just re-nailed down a date for Only Dan's stream. The last time we had, I said we're gonna have it Saturday. That one ended up getting canceled. So our next one is going to be May 14th, where Only Dan's is a D&D stream, where only one made by Dan's for everybody. It's a rotating DMs game. So we have a different dungeon master every arc, and I DM'd the first arc, which is out somewhere. And then my friend Dan is our dungeon master for this arc, for a second arc, and we rotate around. But go check that out. Only Dan's on D&D on Twitch.
Incredible. Corson.
Vindictive Jukebox on Instagram and Twitch, but I don't stream on my channel that much. It's been over a year. What else? I've been posting more covers on I've been posting one more cover which is 100% increase. Actually infinite increase. So if you have covers that you want to hear, let me know and I'll literally record them. Because I think it'd be fun.
I'll think of some. I got one I can think of right now.
I've been working on a few, so I'm excited about that.
Oh my god, I can't wait
again. And I've decided that I'm just gonna post like just, they don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be whatever. It's just gonna be videos on my Instagram of singing to keep myself a little sharper. So
love it.
Katy.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Kaser_. Yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on with me right now. I'd like to thank the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions for having a very conducive draft to my interests. So I'm a happy girl lately, so sports are keeping me smiling through all all the turmoil out here. So yeah, follow me on Twitter. Follow the NWSL as well, National Women's Soccer League, my favorite sport, my favorite league.
Women. Kanisha.
Nothing except my Twitter at Kanisha K. Well, and I'm always there. So check it out.
My last plug is for Fortnite Zero Build. Go play Fortnite Zero Build. It's really fun.
I have never played Fortnite.
Play Fortnite with me and stream it. It'll be so fun. That can be an incentive.
That'd be a 750 goal. If we make 750, I want to do my first Undertale too. I've never played Undertale, so I want to stream that at some point too. Let us know if that sounds interesting to you. Again, I'm at Claire the DM all over the social medias. I too am thinking about starting a little project for myself to just put things out there. I think I might do that over on the Ko-Fi though, very, very quietly. And I guess that's my plug. My real plug is call your representatives.
Yeah.
Go, if you are a person who likes to go places and do things, go to a place that is holding any kind of gathering for anything that means something to you, and do it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I don't know. I like all of you a lot. So thank you all for being here as